All right, y'all. Blessings. My name is Jess, and today we are having a conversation about getting trims in the hair salon. I do apologize that my audio was not working a bit ago, but hopefully it works now. So I have notes here on the side here so I can stay on track. Can you guys hear me okay? Thank you. I appreciate the love already. You guys are so sweet. I hope you guys can hear me all right. Welcome back. Okay. It's giving you guys can hear me. Yes. Okay. I have my tea here. I have a notepad, pen, whatever you guys need in the space, please bring it in the space. This is not about numbers. This is not about how long it takes, guys. This is going to be recorded. You can watch it back. I'm hoping that people will feel comfortable enough to come into the space and share. And let's get started. Okay, so brief recap. My name is Jess. I have been growing my hair for a very long time, something that's very personal to me. And I started making hair content about 2 years ago, about 2.5 years ago. And that was hard for me to even start that journey because my experience with my hair and other people's opinions, I feel like didn't always add up. This is just an image of me I made sure I had here of my hair when I would do a wash and go. And just to be clear, I don't usually wear my hair like this. I wear my hair a little bit frizzy, a little bit wild. And whenever I would do wash and go, this is how it looks. To me, this is healthy hair. My hair's always been healthy because I used to straighten my hair. I used to relax my hair. I know what unhealthy, dry, brittle hair that breaks off hair feels like. And I would never use that word to describe my hair in the last 10 years because I really stopped doing those things a really long time ago. Now, growing up, whenever I went to the hair salon, I would get my hair essentially chopped off. This one time I went to a hair salon and I asked for a trim, and I remember that my hair was in a bob while it was pressed, like straightened bob to my chin. Okay. I did not like that. Obviously, there were situations where my sister and my mom would try to cut my hair and they cut it too short and I'd be upset. And then, my mom stopped doing that because she understood, like, okay, Jess does not like that. And over the years, I just stopped going to the salon and I would self-trim at home. There has been some questions around, like, why I didn't just self-trim. I always self-trim. However, because I am trying to pursue going after the Guinness World Record for the world's largest afro, I wanted to be able to add shape in the back. And because my hair is so long, literally, if I were to pull my arm all the way out, that's how long my hair was. It makes it very hard to get any sort of detailed shape by yourself, right? And so naturally, one of the things that I've been working on with my therapist is asking for help, right? When you need help with something, you ask, okay? Now, when you ask for help, I think that there are a lot of benefits for that, but it also comes with risks, okay? In this situation, there was a miscommunication on how much hair I wanted to come off and around the shape that I wanted and whatever else, okay? Now we're in a situation where obviously this happened very publicly, and now I'm getting loads and loads and loads of messages of people sharing that the same thing happened to them. And that's why we're here. So I wanted to give everyone an opportunity to share their story on the situation that they've had and how it's impacted them. Because if y'all read some of these stories, if you heard some of these stories that I've heard on the phone, I call someone and then they're like, well, girl, I have a bald spot from when I went to the salon, or girl, I have, and I'm like, what? I didn't know that. I would have never known that you had this experience at the salon, because it seems like people are suffering in silence. And ultimately, what I'm hoping to get people to understand is that these are no longer isolated incidences. It seems to be a very big trend, and it seems to be a pattern, and it might be the norm for a lot of people. For me, it's the norm. And so what I've seen is this language around, we'll just go to someone who's licensed, or go to someone who has this experience and that experience. And unfortunately, it maybe doesn't matter how much experience you have, you can still end up cutting off too much of someone's hair. And that can have an impact on them that lasts a lifetime. And so that is why we're here. I want you guys to please, you guys can request to join to share a story. I'm going to give it some time. I know some people might not feel comfortable joining to share, and that is okay. You can write your story in the comment section and I can read it out loud. The other thing you can do is if you have a question, you can put it in the question box as well, okay? And so I'm gonna just see, hey guys, oh, you guys are so sweet. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I want to know, there are some like ground rules that I just want to set, obviously around respect. Please, 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 let's just be respectful. Please, no cussing, okay? This is an area where I want to encourage people to listen and not judge. If you are somebody who has, who cuts someone's hair, maybe just take the time to just listen and not try to prove yourself or anything like that. Like, that's not what we're here to do. We're just here to listen to people and have them share. So you guys, the floor is open. Please, please, please. So we have one comment. She is Jenny. I hope one day we can get some truth why some stylists did this to us. Do you want to come up and share your story as to what happened? Someone else said that I hate the salon. They cut all my hair off. I mean, thankfully, I do still have hair on my head, so I do think that I got off a little bit easy compared to some of the other stories that I've heard. And I don't have any bald spots, so that is a blessing. So Jenny said that she had a relaxer against her will, shortcuts against her will, and was always too afraid to say something. I understand that. So that's really hard too. Obviously, when getting a relaxer against your will, some salons I know have had a history of putting relaxer in the product. I hope they don't still do that. I know they were doing that back in the day. I hope they're not still doing that. But as someone who maybe doesn't have as much control over their hair yet, maybe they're a little bit younger, maybe they're in grade school, and their parent is still responsible for making sure that they look kept and clean, and when they go out and about, I think it's important to recognize that if you make a decision to relax someone's hair against their will, that can affect their self-esteem. That can make it so they don't feel as confident in their beauty. One of the points that I made a while ago was like, why are we forcing people to straighten or relax or cut their hair for special occasions, right? Like, does that mean that their hair only looks beautiful when they are going to prom, when they have a big dinner, game day, or anything like that? Like, it almost sets up a standard to say, like, okay, like, your hair only looks pretty when it's not too much to manage. And the whole point that I'm trying to make around wearing my hair the way I do is that it's done, and it's okay if it doesn't look all slick back and your ends are not always perfectly defined. It's okay, like that's all right. Okay, we have somebody who's gonna come up. Let's see. Thank you for being brave. Let's see if they join. Hello.
Hi, hi, Jess. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I can relate to everything you're speaking about because well, I'll be 54 this year. But as when I was younger and getting my hair relaxed, I ended up having to learn how to take care of my own hair because unfortunately, salons either would cut too much off or wouldn't quite give you the style that you wanted. Like I always found myself going back home and restyling my hair after I spent all that money at the salon. And then when I would get trims, it wasn't a trim. It would actually be a really horrible cut. So you see, I'm short now. I did that. I did that myself on purpose because I'm a photographer. So I don't really have time to do, as much as I would like, to my hair. But I keep it healthy. I keep it moisturized because I do color it. But it has been a stigma for women of color to not really feel safe when they go to the salons. You really have to find a great person who knows what they're doing and who cares about what you say to them when it comes to doing your hair.
Right.
That
Okay.
that it's very, very rare to find someone who really listens to you when you want to get your hair done at the salon.
Okay. I like a couple of points that you made just then around having you have to care to listen,
Mm-hmm.
right? That is a
Yeah.
very important thing. The other thing that you mentioned was that you spent a lot of money. And
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
I'm noticing that I'm seeing a pattern. When we spend money on things, we want to be happy.
Mhm.
And when we are spending money, oh, and the hair industry is very, it's a very lucrative market. I understand that, but it seems like the what we're spending and what we're getting is not adding up.
At
Um,
all.
can
Yeah.
you tell me a little bit about if you feel comfortable around where, like the how much was taken off what you asked for, and then how much was taken off?
So when my hair was long, it was always shoulder length.
Okay.
And for some reason I could not get it to grow past shoulder length. I probably didn't know all the things that I needed to do at the time. But even the person I was going to on a regular basis, I would be like, I just want to get, a specific trim. Just trim off maybe a half inch to an inch.
Oh.
And it would go from shoulder length to up here, like a bob.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know if that's what I asked you for because it seems very, very short. Not to mention, in between going to the salon, I would do my own trim. So because I hate scraggly ends, I hate split ends. I don't like my ends to look unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
So in between going back and forth to the salon, I knew what I was doing. I come from a family of cosmetologists, but because I'm so busy, I didn't really have that kind of time
Mm-hmm.
and needed someone else to do it for me. But it would always end up being way shorter, up to the neck, up to the ears. And I just got to the point I got sick of it. So I just stopped. I stopped going. I
Okay.
spoke to several of my aunts. I spoke with my mom, and they all just gave me general ideas of what I needed to do to take care of my own hair until I got to the point 5 years ago I just decided to just whack it off and color it. But it was always too much hair being cut off. And I'm saying to myself, because I deep condition regularly, because I don't put a lot of heat on my hair on a regular basis, I know you shouldn't have cut that much off of my hair.
Right.
I know you shouldn't
You
have.
know, and when you told the story, you said, "I don't think that's you know what you asked for,
Yeah,
right?" And I
yeah.
think that there's this. Did the stylist? I know you said this happened a few times. Did they have a reasoning as to why they took so much off more than you
Okay,
asked?
so with each incident, it was a different stylist because I'm looking around. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to find someone to really help me
Right.
sustain my hair, even though it was in a relaxed state. I wasn't natural at the time like I am now. I was
Mhm.
trying to find someone who would really help me sustain my hair. Um, so it was always these excuses like,
Mhm.
well, your hair was a lot more damaged than you thought it was, or um, well, maybe, you just need to, do some a little bit more deep conditions, a little bit drier than what it was always put back on me. And I'm saying to myself, self, you know better. Because they don't know that I have cosmetologists in my family and I'm taking their advice to care for my hair in between visits.
Mhm.
So I know you shouldn't have cut that much off of my hair.
Mm,
And I've heard so many of my friends over the years say some of the same things. But our biggest issue was going, not only getting the wrong cut, but also getting the wrong style. We would have to go home and restyle our hair.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, there's also been a lot of question recently around how we're asked to come to the salon. Like it seems like we're doing the work already, like
It
shampooing it,
changed. It
like it's like
changed.
what are we paying for exactly when we
Yeah.
go to the salon? I I feel, I mean, when I tell you, when you're speaking, I feel it. I feel it. You know, for me it's only been, I think we're going on be 4 weeks tomorrow, but I feel so heavy. Like, wow, I believe you. I believe that you said a half inch or what, inch and a half, whatever. I believe it wasn't supposed to be to, that much.
And then it was
And
always the James Brown style curls. Like who?
that is so, I'm so sorry for you. Wait, so you said that you stopped going. So you haven't been to the salon in 5 years?
Oh yeah, it was well before that. Probably at least within the past 7 to 8 years. I just did the big chop 5 years ago though, where I just went ahead and cut it all off. And the intention was to grow it out like you have. The intention was to grow it out naturally and just have my big old gorgeous Angela Davis fro. But I've enjoyed it being short, so it gets to a certain length and I'll cut it off again just because I like the aesthetic of how it looks on my hair. And then with me coloring my hair, it has to be moisturized. So I don't slack on the moisture, never have. I'm the type of person that if you're coloring your hair, you're stripping it,
Hmm.
you have to use a relaxer. You can't not, I'm sorry, you have to use a moisturizer. You can't not moisturize your hair when your hair is colored. So the intention was to grow it out, have a big old fro, but I've liked it short. So I've kept it short since then. So that's been within the past 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's your choice,
Yeah.
right? I think
Yeah.
that's the important part about it. If you choose to wear it short, then that's a choice that
Yeah.
you made. But if someone makes that choice for you, that's when this becomes like, maybe
It's
a little
almost a violation. It's
unethical.
almost a violation.
It's,
Like, really.
but this is the thing. I think it's time we start calling it unethical because it
Mm-hmm.
is.
Yep.
And that's just what we like. I've been very, very nice about the the industry because again, I do myself trims. I know what my experience was in the past, and I just was like, let me just politely mind my own business and let people do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's getting to the point where it's like we have to call it out. If
Call a
we
thing a
have to just
thing.
call it
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
it's not right. There's right and there's wrong, and we cannot tell people that, well, it was damaged, so I had to go, and think that that is an okay response for
Yeah.
cutting their
And
hair, cutting it
it's
off.
your hair, and you have to make it known to the stylist. We've been moved into this space of walking away with being unhappy, and not saying anything to the stylist about how we feel, about the cut or the style or the relaxer or whatever it is that they've done to our hair. We walk away feeling a little bit intimidated, honestly. Um, I'm not that type of person, but I know some of my friends are.
Yeah,
I have no problem telling you how I feel, and I'm gonna voice it. It's gonna be a problem because
yeah,
this right here, I don't play about this. I do not play about my hair, and I cannot let anyone else play with it either.
yeah.
It has to be
And
told.
I'm happy that you shared that. So I feel like in my hearing you right, I would say, yeah, I'm the same way. I don't play, right? But when you're in the
Mm-hmm.
moment, it feels much differently. I
It
truly
does.
tried to like my haircut. I
Mm-hmm.
did. After I stood up and I realized how much was gone, I'm like, okay, like it's cute. It's cute. I'm like twirling, like it's cute. I'm in shock. Okay.
That's what I mean.
I
That's what I
don't think
mean.
it really, really, really hit me, and I think this is for a lot of other people until you leave, until you go home and you're crying, or the next day, or the next week, or now you're grieving, now you're sad, and
Yeah.
that is when you feel it. And so, can you tell me? Because I want to, also just kind of give give some, if you can give some advice for some people. So two things. Can you tell me how you felt, and then how you have been able to overcome? I know that this was a while ago, but in the moment, how are you feeling, or after this happened? And then since then, after this thing happened to you, how are you able to cope? Any tips you might have for someone who has been in a similar experience?
Um, so initially, as I stated before, violated, absolutely felt violated because for me, I know they love to say, the hair is our crown, but it really truly is an extension of our womanhood, of our beauty, of how we identify ourselves in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so for me, it felt like a violation. I was very upset. So for me, I wasn't the person to get up out the chair and tell her that I liked it. That wasn't me. I was very, very angry to the point of being told I couldn't come back to the salon. And I'm okay with that. You don't have to worry about me coming back because I'm not coming back anyway. But after that, and getting the cry out, because I'm going to cry, because at the end of the day it's my hair. Oh my God, it's my hair. So I'm going to get the feelings out. But then from there, because like I said, I come from a family of cosmetologists, I ended up just, restyling the cut, restyling the style, and just keep it moving, because at the end of the day, I know it's going to grow back. I know I'm going to be fine. But it's that initial trauma of,
Mm-hmm.
of looking in the mirror and like, are you kidding me? So I would say, advice wise, if you have to redo it yourself, do it. Don't be unhappy. Don't sit there and be unhappy with it, because
Mm-hmm.
there is a way around it. You can figure out a style that you're going to love, even if it means you doing a little trim yourself or getting someone else to redo the trim. But at the end of the day, you gotta be happy. You're gonna have to walk around with that hair until it grows out again. Luckily, like I said, luckily I come from a family where I kind of figured out what to
Mm-hmm.
do once I had conversations with aunts and my mom. But you got to figure out how to work it. Try not to internalize it
Mm-hmm.
to a point where it damages your mental health, because like I said, it is going to grow, your hair is going to grow back, but you can find a style. You can find a way to work through it. I know a couple of times, even afterwards, I just went ahead and allowed someone to put braids in my hair, because I knew it was going to, help my hair grow back, so it's just a matter of
Mm-hmm.
what you're going to feel comfortable with doing with that style once you're stuck with it for a few weeks.
Well, I'm stuck with this for more than a few weeks, but that's great advice. And I really appreciate you coming on and sharing.
I
I,
appreciate you sharing your story. Your hair
of
is
course,
absolutely gorgeous. I love how full and beautiful it is.
thank
And
you.
congratulations on your journey with trying to be, have all the hair in the Guinness books. Why
Oh,
not?
thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's the other thing about how I feel about this is I feel like this was a little embarrassing. That was actually the first thing that I told the stylist the next day, is that I felt embarrassed. When you go and you tell everyone, "Hey, I'm doing this thing,"
Yeah,
and the next day
yeah,
your hair is hashtag
yeah,
missing. It's
exactly.
like, oh my
Exactly.
gosh,
And the
and so
horrible part about it is, being natural the way that we are, not everyone can really cut our hair. They act like they don't know what to do with it. So you have to, and it's hard trying to find someone who's actually specialized in it, where the cut is going to be beautiful because of the curly hair. And we have to stop calling our hair nappy and kinky or whatever. It's curly. It
yeah.
literally is curly. It's just we all have different curl patterns, but it literally is curly. I told my mom, I said, we wasted all that money on jerry curls when I was a kid, and my hair natural curly the entire time, you know?
Yeah. No, I hear you. You make a great point. I mean, I definitely don't like it when people use those words to describe curly hair either.
Mhm.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done in this space, and it's unfortunate that we have to continue to have these conversations, but
Yeah.
um
But
one day, hopefully,
but we have to.
yeah, we
We
have
have to.
to. Yeah, so thank you so much for coming on. I'm gonna
Welcome. You're
invite the
welcome.
next person up, but I appreciate you, and I'm so happy that you seem like you're in a good space with your hair, and
Finally.
yeah, finally. Which, listen, I'm happy to see you smiling. I know it's hard, so but thank you so much for being
You're
vulnerable and coming up.
welcome. You have a great day today, okay?
Thank you.
All
Okay,
right. Bye.
bye. Oh, so sweet. Okay. The other thing I will say that I'm noticing, I'm gonna invite someone else up. I have there was a request here. Oh, somebody made a request, but maybe they left. Um, if you want to come up, just make a request and I will add you up. The other thing I think that I want to point out from what she was saying is she had mentioned something about like having to learn how to do her own hair. You guys, learning, teaching your kids and learning how to do your own hair is like teaching someone how to cook their own meals. You have to learn how to cook so you can eat. You have to learn how to do your hair by yourself. And I think if we start teaching our youth how to touch, how to feel, how to speak about their hair at a younger age, when they, if they ever let anyone touch their hair and someone was yanking at their hair dry with no product or trying to pull at it from the top, they're going to be like, absolutely not, right? They're going to have a little bit more of a understanding of what they're going to do and how they should be treated at the salon. So the next person I'm going to invite up is my dear friend Kimmy. Kimmy. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You made
Hi.
it.
I
How are you? Oh my
did.
gosh. Oh my gosh, Kimmy. Ah, all right. I'm ready. I'm ready for this story. Okay.
You ready for the story?
Yes, Kim has a story she's gonna share with us. Mm.
So, back in the day, way back in the day, high school days,
Mm-hmm.
back then the rage was straight hair, right? Straight hair, long hair, and of course, I was on that bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care for my curly hair. And I remember I was taken to a salon, and it was a Dominican salon, and they were known for like great blowouts. And I was like, yes, I'm gonna get a nice blowout. It's gonna flow in the wind. It's gonna look beautiful. At the time, that's what I thought was beautiful, and for myself. And I get there, and it's like it's packed, and the stylist kind of gave me a look, and I had thick hair at the time. And I go in, she washes my hair. She's like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, I want to blow out and a trim. I assumed I needed a trim. And she's like, okay, yeah. Well, we can do that. We can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's washing my hair. She makes comments, oh, your hair's so thick. Oh, it's so hard to deal with right now. Let me take a little break. And I'm like, okay. She left me in the sink. She came back like 5 minutes later. She finished washing my hair, and she takes me to the seat, the chair, and like, yeah, we're gonna blow dry. I'm like, okay, high heat, pulling the hair, blow drying the hair, fry the hair, and then she's like, okay, I'm gonna trim. At the time, my hair
Mm-hmm.
was at my shoulders, a little bit past my
Okay.
shoulders,
Okay.
and she went to town, and my hair went to my chin
Mm-hmm.
by the time this was over. And she flat ironed her hair, and she's like, look, see, this is great. And of course, I'm a kid. I'm like 15. I don't know, any different. I don't know what I should have asked for, what if I should have stopped her. I don't know. I was sent to say, hey, get a wash and blow dry and trim. And she said, yes, it needed to go. You had too much dead ends. It looks great. You can come back and we can take a little bit more. I'm like, a little more of what? There'll be nothing left.
Oh
What are you
my.
talking about?
Oh my
What do
God.
you mean a little more? She's like, yeah, your hair needs to be healthy. It's not healthy right now. I said, oh, okay. I never went back. I remember the day. It was raining. It was in November. It was cold. I left crying. I was like, yeah, at that point, I was so sad. I was like, I didn't know what else to do with my hair. I kind of just left it, didn't touch it, didn't go go back to a salon, never
Yeah.
again. And my mom kind of took care of my hair after that. And I was like, yeah, no, no. And
Mhm.
I've had a very tumultuous journey with my hair, loving my hair, not loving my hair, hating my hair, not caring about my hair, letting it do its thing, then deep dive into, okay, what is it, dry, is it holding too much moisture, like what do I need to do, this. And I think I've gotten to a place now where I'm going to trust myself with my hair. I'm going to take my time to learn my
Mhm.
hair and give
Mhm.
myself grace with my hair and understand that my hair is for me and not anybody else, and we're all different. And I can't treat my hair like how somebody else with your hair would treat their hair. It's not the same. And I have
Right.
to accept that. And I have to believe that whatever I'm doing is the best thing for my hair.
Mhm.
So unfortunately, I will never go back to a salon. No. After that happened.
Okay, so you haven't been back to the salon since you were 15 after you asked for a
Nope.
trim and they butchered your hair.
Nope.
Okay, I just wanted to set the record straight there for a
Yes.
second. Okay, so you
Yes.
haven't
No.
been back since.
No.
Okay. Um, I don't blame you. I literally said this the other day. I will probably literally never ever let someone ever cut my hair
No.
ever again. And I'm okay with that. I will sleep very well at night knowing that. And I have no
Yep.
problem learning
Yep.
more skill and technique on how to cut my hair.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
um,
I
can
will
you,
learn.
I mean, I obviously I know you. And so hearing you say what you just said about your hair, it brings me a lot of joy because I don't know, I've seen your journey for what, like 4 years
Yep.
I've known you. And so, there'd be times where like I'll see your hair and it's like I can just tell you left it alone and I'd be
Hmm.
like, ah, she left it alone. I'd be like
And
so happy.
that's all. That's a testament to you too, because I wasn't brave enough
Hmm.
to let it out until like I when you put out your book and I was reading the book and you're talking about how your hair was treated as a kid growing up and how you feel about it now. I was like, Kim, you gotta stop. No, it's your hair. Like, do whatever you want with your hair. Nobody cares what it looks like. It's up to you what it looks like. You can do whatever you want. So that when I let it out like that, or if I do a certain style, I'm like, okay, it takes a lot for me to be like, I can let it be and not have to put it in a certain way of how I think people want it to look.
Mm,
It's what I want it to look like. That's
right.
it.
Right.
So it's taken me a while to get to that point. So yeah, when you see that, when you see it at
Yeah.
work, go ahead, throw
I
something
always
at
love
me.
it. I'm like, okay, Kim, I see you out here. Let your hair just do its
Do
thing.
its thing.
I love it. And your
Do
hair is
its
so
thing.
beautiful. It's so interesting that what you were told around the maintenance of your hair, right? I remember going to the salon and them breaking brushes on my
Yep.
hair. And I'm like,
Yep.
when I was a kid, they would be breaking
Brushes
brushes. And now
and
that I'm
combs
and
and combs.
as a child, you take that and you internalize it,
Yes.
and you're like, oh my god, there's my hair.
Something's
You
wrong
start
with
to
me.
believe,
It shouldn't. Right.
yes, you
It
start
should.
to believe the lie, right? It's like,
Yes.
no. Then I learned how to do my hair. I'm like, this is not hard to
Not
detangle. Like, what?
hard.
I've
What are
never
you talking
broken
about?
any. I've never broken anything trying to do my hair, like outside of a
Just take your
cheap scrunchie.
time.
Right.
Take
So
your time.
yeah,
I
I
think what your other friend was when she was on prior to me, she said a lot of them don't really know how to style curly hair. They say they do, but they don't. And curly hair has so many different textures and it
mhm,
has so many different patterns. What you do for one type of hair will not work for another type of hair. You have to be well versed in how to treat curly hair. And whenever you're dealing with a client or customer, you have to listen to what they want. And you have to understand some people are very attached to their hair. Like their hair is them. Like they love the way their hair looks. They have a certain way they want it to look. And when you don't listen and you go trigger happy and do whatever you want to do, whether
mhm,
it's cut color or even how you wash the hair, that can really be damaging for the person who is coming to you looking for
right,
a service, hoping that you can understand what they want to help them with their hair journey. When you don't understand curly hair, don't do it.
right. So there's two things. I think one, they do understand, but they know how they learn it. And so some people may only understand curly hair in two, three, or four different ways when it might be just, the diaspora of curly hair. And they try to do it and teach it and tell you the way that they know and not the way that you want, right? You're the expert on your hair. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I really want to address this whole some people are attached to their hair thing. Guys, the hair is attached to your head. No one cannot be like. What are we talking about here, guys?
Mhm.
It's not something you take off. Like you take off your
No,
clothes and then you wash them and then you put them back on. It's attached to your head. It's an extension of
I'm
you.
you. Yep.
And so, as a hairstylist or as any salon owner, as a family member, anyone who is trusted with the ability to lay their fingers on someone else's head, you need to understand that that is something that should not be taken lightly. If you
No.
are an artist and you do all these things with the hair, this is not a material that you went and bought at the store that you're
Nope.
able to just do
Coming out of
whatever with. You do not have
you. It's your
you
hair.
do not have creative freedom to do what you please. Okay.
No.
You do not own it.
No, you
Okay.
don't.
So I really appreciate you sharing that. And so again, now we have two people who've come up and shared who said they have not been back to the salon after they asked for a trim and they did not get what they wanted. And that is very sad, right?
Yeah.
I am interested to hear more people's stories. So if you're interested, just if make the request, leave it there. As soon as the person is done, we'll add the next person up. But Kimmy, is there any advice that you have for anyone or anything you want to share around? I know you just said you remember the day, the month, the weather from this moment. It's very traumatic for you.
Nope.
So I can only imagine the feelings. Is there anything that you want to share to kind of, it could be quick.
Just embrace your hair, people. Just learn your hair, embrace your hair, and do what makes you feel happy and what you feel like you look. You want to look a certain way. Be happy with how your hair is. It's a journey. Don't think everything you see will not apply to you. It won't apply to you. Find out what works for you, and try new things, and then get into a routine
Yeah.
with your hair. Don't just start something and stop because you won't see results. Get into a routine, learn to appreciate your hair, and that's it. You can go from there.
Yes. God bless you, my love. Thank you for joining. I appreciate your time. Thank you
Of
for sharing. You
course.
know that that's not easy. So I
Mm.
appreciate you. I hope you get some rest.
I'm going now.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
See you. You just have to exit, my love.
I am trying.
Okay.
There we go.
No worries. We'll add Jenny up. Um, you guys. Oh, hello.
Hello, hello, hello,
I
mi
knew
Jess.
that was you. Okay, I recently met this beauty queen at an event, literally like last month, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do not know your story. I'm interested to know. You have obviously have beautiful curly hair. So
Thank you.
tell us what is going on, and yeah, what's the tea?
So hi everyone. Hi everyone. Thank you, Jess, for allowing me to share my story. I have shared it before, but it's still very much so traumatic. I have like the sad story of the salon. But I will make it quick with what I shared in the comments. So
Take your time.
um it's been a love and hate journey because I grew up without knowing I had curly hair.
Mm,
So I didn't know why the hair was thick. So I got the relaxers at like 7, 8 years old. All I knew was straight hair. But it was still a very negative experience going to the salons because it was so thick.
mm,
So always like you can tell like people didn't really want to do it. It would be like stalling. And that was the experience
mhm,
sort of like as an adult versus as a youth. I went through that traumatic experience where I had tailbone hair.
mm.
Ugh.
Aw.
And, my mom just didn't know how to take care of it. So she takes me to a family relative to get to hair done.
Mhm,
And she said, trim it, child. Mm.
mm.
We went from down here to up here. And
Understand?
I'm a fifth grader. So, I love what everyone has shared. Like, I didn't think about it that way, that my hair is attached to me. So I'm in the space like, but I'm pretty because I always like it was programmed to feel pretty because I had long hair. So
Mm.
now I'm in fifth grader with my hair like right here, and instantly I was in very shallow spaces and I felt my self-esteem just completely go down.
Wow.
And then there was nothing I could do about it because I'm 10. So I'm like, all right, we're just gonna go through the motion. I remember wanting to just have it. I don't know how old you are, Jess, but like when the swoop came out, oh man, I was like swoop queen and the ponytail. And then once I got like to high school, um, girls that had, I'm gonna call them the Shirley Temple curls, started to wear it out. And I was
Okay.
obsessed with it. I was obsessed. I'm like, I need the wigs, I need the bundles, give me the Brazilian this. And I couldn't understand why I was so obsessed with curling. I'm like, why can I love this relaxed straight hair? Um because no one really knew how to take care of the hair wouldn't grow past my shoulders.
Mm.
So I felt like Ugly Betty for so long,
Oh.
until I got some coins and I started putting extensions. I got my curly wigs, and now it's like social media. So now you get that rush of validation. And then I had a very weird encounter around my hair, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. I also worked at a salon, so it's a very, I don't want to make it such a long story.
Yeah.
So working at the salon, and I started to see, this is in 2012, women go natural. And I was like, wait a minute. It's not nappy. It's not bad hair. It's what's underneath this.
Mm-hmm.
And I say those words because that's the words and the language that was used around me at the time. There was no such thing as you have beautiful hair, you have um your silk press is wonderful. Like, I come from a Spanish community. It was like, okay, you're pretty if your hair looks china, if it's bone straight.
Mm.
If there's any bump or any volume or anything, you're put to the side. So seeing women go natural, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buzz cut. And everyone's like, no, you're going crazy, you're having a meltdown. And at the time, I'm 22 in college, and I was like, no, like, I don't want to go through the process, because women were going natural, but they were still como se dice eso,
Letting it grow out.
letting it grow up, but they would still get doobies, and like, just they wouldn't use relaxers, they were blowing out the roots.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't have the money or the patience for that, so we're just gonna buzz cut. And I just remember being on campus with a buzz cut, but I was too scared, so I left like the top straight. So then I was like the Rihanna, that was like the Rihanna cut, because at the same time she kind of had done like the
Lace
buzz.
down
So
her. Yeah, yeah.
everyone assumed I was having a mental breakdown. I'm like, hey, run with what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But when the coils bloomed,
Beautiful. I'm sure.
wow, blown away, blown away. Luckily, fast forward, now it's 2014, we have the YouTube girlies, and I went through that whole roller coaster ride. But
Mm-hmm.
still, I could not find a salon that would only trim my hair. So now it's 2014, I don't relax, and I just want to get a wash and go. Now, at the time, 2014, I believe Carol's Daughter was the only shop that I knew of in Harlem. So I got a consultation, and that was the first time I felt warmth. I felt embrace. I felt seen, understood, and I didn't want to take my money. So I was like, I love it. I could talk to you. We could figure out what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Still, the idea and the psychology of being natural didn't really click, so I got more silk press. So now I meet this amazing stylist that listens to me, and I'm new to this. I'm new to love. I'm new to trust behind the chair, and I'm new to conversation. and dialogue. But that was short lived because then now it's like 2016. So now I'm dipping and dabbing. I'm like, I want my hair straight, but I want my hair curly. What? Still, I am a person that didn't know I had curly hair. So I've never seen its true natural state. There's always been some form of manipulation. So now to the comment I shared. It's 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Uptown
Okay.
and I'm going to a quinceañera. So I'm like, it's like, when is this? Like July. I'm like, I can't go with este pajón.
Why?
Right. Right. I don't, at the time, I could not give you that
Right.
answer. It
Okay.
was that condition. You're going to a quinceañero, silk press.
Okay.
I entered the salon. It was like, I just enter a random Dominican salon. And immediately they're like, you have natural hair? I was like, whoa, we're still like this. Oh, it's 2017. What's happening?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, it's natural. They're like, okay, it's going to be this. I'm like, no problem. At this point, I'm familiar with like deep conditioning and caring for my hair. So I asked, I said, hey, I just want a deep conditioner. So they start showing me like Brazilian keratin conditioners. So I'm like, I don't want this. Now, the hair wasn't like this, but it was still curly. So we proceed. You're in the bowl, right? And they're just like, oh, but they speak Spanish, so I speak Spanish, so I know what they're saying. They're like, oh, it's close to, it's time to close. I don't really want to do this, and I'm like, hey, like, I can leave y'all. No, está bien, don't worry about it. When I sit in the roller seat, the hair is stringy. I'm like, no way.
Oh my gosh.
There's no way. No. And I'm like rushing, so I'm like, whatever. Let them blow dry straight. It was two people, so they were pulling and tagging, like, oh, this hair's just, and of course I experience breaking brushes and all of that. I leave, I feel great. My hair's bone straight. And then I'm like, okay, it's like summer, so let's wash this out. And it's like not washing
Oh,
out.
oh my
And
gosh.
I'm like, they put some ish in my hair,
Mm.
but the conditioning, I've been separated from it in the moment. So I'm like, okay, like whatever. I'm so used to the abuse that I'm like, let me just grow it out.
Wow.
Now, fast forward, social media is great. You have influencers, you have young people really using their voice like yourself and really embracing it. And I remember meeting a young lady, and I'm still going back and forth. It was like straight hair, curly hair, because I don't know what it is. And now it's like, think of the worst heat damage slash relaxer.
No, I
I
know
don't even
exactly
know,
what
it's
image.
waves. It's waves at this point. And the young lady's like, you don't love yourself. And I was like, oh,
Whoa.
let me unpack that. And that's where I really got to it.
Mm.
Because the straight hair was the answer, not my option.
I like the way you put that.
And
Oh,
so I never,
say that one more time. Say it one more time. Hold
the
on.
straight hair was my answer, not my option.
Oh my gosh.
And so I sat with that. And she was an amazing assistant at a curly haven. And I got a beautiful curly cut. And I've been in the love and hate journey still. And when I met you and I seen you, and I'm like, it's possible. And it just reminded me why I started to share my experience, because it's so many of us. Like, I will tell you, shout outs to the women that came on. I'm
Mhm.
still afraid. I still go, I've gone to salons, still similar experience. I think that there's still so much education around Afro hair that
Yeah.
needs to be trained, put out there. Bullying is still happening.
Oh yeah. I'm bullied every time I sit in someone's chair. It's facts. And I'm even when I'm not trying to get my hair cut. As a content creator, you get booked for stuff, and I get bullied, like to the point where I don't know if you guys remember the story I said when I was on set. Um I don't think we met, we just met each other. But yeah,
No,
no,
no.
it's I'll have to tell you the story later, but I was in fact bullied by all the hairstylists, and everyone in the room was uncomfortable.
Oh,
And all the girls that were also getting their hair done were also uncomfortable, and I was told to stick to modeling.
wow.
I was told to stick to being a hair model. So I think what is interesting about what you're saying around the salon, finding a salon, find a this, find a that. Guys, let's be for real. We as people who are consumers or people who are living our lives, we have our own careers, we're out and about, we're trying to manage our family, our responsibilities. We are not thinking this salon doesn't have trained personnel. This lady says she has a license, but did she take that one course where they spoke about this and that? This person has like we're gonna trust you as a salon owner who has a business, who has paperwork, that you're going to be professional, that you're going to hear us. We're paying for a service. Your service is. I remember the days where when you paid more money, that was top notch. When you paid $10.99 for a haircut, you couldn't be mad if they butchered it. But if you're paying $400, $500, $600 for a haircut, they better not mess it up. You see what I mean? Like, it's just so interesting to me that even after sharing my experiences, everyone's like, okay, well, next time go to this person. Oh, next time that person. My love, I it doesn't matter how big the resume is. It
Right.
doesn't matter how big the resume is. If they are not willing to listen to me and how my hair works, if they don't sit there and ask me questions about how I wear my hair, how I style my hair, what products, if they're not going to actually listen and take, because what I'm noticing is that this whole notion of like, well, I'm licensed. Honey, I don't know what that
Right.
means. Okay. I have a degree in something, right? And so when I'm out in the field and I'm helping the community, I cannot say, well, I have a degree. You have to do what I say. You have to do what I want. The person I'm working with has to be ready. There's this thing called stages of readiness, and they have to
That's
be
right.
ready
That's right.
to get the service that they're ready for. Not It's not what I think they're ready for. It's about what they're ready for. And so I really think that it's more than just being trained on Afro hair and the diaspora of it. It's also being trained on customer service. It's being trained on empathy. It's being trained on hair psychotherapy. It's being trained on listening, active
That's
listening.
right.
Not because clearly whatever listening you're doing is not working. But
That's
it's
right.
like we have to like really understand that like this is more than just going to a training for a weekend with someone that you found online who
That's
swears
right.
that they have the answer, and now you did a training for a week or a month, or you did a training virtually. I don't think that that is enough. You have to actually really care about people, and you have to slow down.
That's right.
And you know what I mean? Like,
That's
we
right.
have to really stop with like this idea of like, oh, I have this, I have that. You are not doing open heart surgery on my hair because you see something that the rest of us don't see. I'm sorry. Oh, it's damaged. I don't see it. I don't feel it. And it's not there. I don't know what you're talking about. And I don't care. You see what I mean? Like, at the end of
Yes.
the day, if they all see something that the rest of us don't see, there's a disconnect. Right. And so when
Hmm.
you are at a restaurant, and let's say that, a chef is like, oh, you really should have half of your plate should be mixed greens if you really want to be healthy. But you order a side of fries instead of a salad, they're going to give you the French fries because that's what you ordered.
That's right.
Next time, look at the salad. All right, bet. And if you come next time, you said, no, I just want the fries again, they're going to give you the fries again. I'm not talking about, I'm not talking, and I'm make this clear. I'm not speaking about this in the sense of oh, someone comes to your salon, their hair is on very thin ice because of high
Right.
tension, all this damage between chemicals and relax and all these other things, and they want you to give them a style that's going to rip their hair out more, and you say, well, this is what you asked for, and you just do it because you want to take the money. I'm not saying that. There are two different things here.
That's right.
And I think that I would much rather people be honest with themselves
That's right.
that, listen, I do not have the I don't have the ability to not cut off only you say you wanted to. I looking at your hair, I'm not going to be able to just take two. I'm going to have to take off four, and I don't have the self-control with my hands with these scissors to leave that there. So I'm going to have to just decline your service. But if you are looking for someone else who's willing to just let that all that all the stuff that the damage, all these
Right.
things just sit there, then you can go over here. I would much rather people decline service than create more trauma, because you have to be self-aware to understand the fact of, like, you cut more hair than someone asked you to cut, and you can't let whatever this idea of the word damage and put a label of damage or split or whatever other word to justify the fact that you just hurt someone.
That's right. That's right. And so much pain around basic care, because my hair used to be at the healthiest. And because where I would sit, they didn't understand porosity. They're like, no, you need a big shop. Immediately it was like, no, you need a big shop. Your hair is uneven. And it's like, just listening and just taking that second to do what essentially you were allegedly trained to do.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to take this training, guys, and I'm gonna have to tell you what's really happening, because I'm calling baloney. I'm calling baloney. Okay, at this point, I'm like, what is going on in this training? Because I'm not. It's so interesting, because in my head, I'm like, if I can't communicate what I want, I feel bad for everybody else. Like, what? I don't. Do you get what I mean? It's like,
Absolutely. 100%. And it's scary because, like I shared, like I was in the salon and I remember like the girls like, you actually listen. And I was like, it's so many people are just not listening. So many people, like I've seen when it was like the doobie era, girls be like, I'm okay with, like, I'm like, listen, if that's what you're okay with and you only came here for a doobie, that's what we need to do. Like I've seen stuff where people just had the scissor and just like just so many things without their consent. So I'm so happy, Jess, that
thank you.
you made the space. I'm so happy that you've normalized just self-love.
Oh, thank you. I wouldn't say I've quite normalized it quite, but thank you for that.
Yes.
Before you go,
Yes.
because it looks like you're in a very good space. I see you, thriving. What is a tip that you might give to someone specifically who's had a negative experience in the salon? And I also want to emphasize the fact that, like, she used to work in a salon and she's still having these troubles. So it's not even about, like, oh, you just have to, like, she worked in a salon and she still couldn't find someone to give her what she asked for. So what is a tip that you can give someone who is, currently in this, experiencing this? What is one thing that you think could be helpful?
As cliche as it is research. By the grace of God, we are in the digital space. So making sure that you're reading the reviews, that you're looking at the profile. The reason why I'm able to go into a chair and I still give it trust is because I'm seeing the work. I'm able to ask questions, book those consultations. Don't book the appointment right away. Get a sense of the person that you're entrusting your money, your hair with, because that's what I do now. I do a lot of research. And listen, if you don't feel it, don't sit there.
Mm-hmm.
And so many times, like, I already drove this far, already, the commute. Don't let the commute be the reason why you end up in a really difficult situation. That would be my tip.
Great advice. Yeah, very, very great advice. Thank you, my love. I
Thank you.
appreciate you
I'll
coming
be in the
on.
comments again.
Okay, I
Take care,
appreciate.
everyone.
Yes, God bless you. Wow, guys. Wow, 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 wow. I hope you guys are taking notes on this. If anyone else wants to come up and join, just request. And this space is for y'all. I mean, I think we can, as content creators and people who are on the internet, we can easily make everything about us and our problems and what's going on in our lives. I'm just trying to create a space where people can be heard. This is a judgment free zone. It seems like there are people who want to share, but they are maybe just a little bit too nervous. That's what I've seen. Just some messages that I've received is like, hey, listen, I maybe don't feel so comfortable sharing, but this also happened to me. So if anyone wants to join, please come up. The other thing I just find so interesting about this is this idea of when people are asked, why'd you cut so much off, that the response seems to always be with this word damage. And I think we need to start to unpack what is the definition of damage, what, and this whole thing around healthy, it's unhealthy, it was unhealthy. What does healthy hair actually look like in the Afro world? Do you know what I mean? We got to start really, really understanding what that looks like. Someone did request to join. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, honey. Are you able to drive safe while you're on live? I just have to
Absolutely.
ask.
Absolutely. I'm following the GPS and I got a long, like, straight shot drive. So,
Okay, well, let's
but,
keep your eyes on the road, okay? Please.
I will.
Okay.
So basically, mine didn't really, I don't know if you're just specifically like doing, I asked for a trim, but I've always grown up like getting my hair straightened, had beautiful, thick, long hair. And I personally went to a lot of stylists that was willing to approve getting my hair permed every 2 weeks. And because of that, my hair, like, it's longer now, it's grown back. I wear it natural. I do everything at my house by myself because of that. But my hair would fall out. Me being like 12 to 15 years old, my hair would fall out in clumps because since I was 6 or 7 years old, I would get relaxers every 2 weeks. And a lot of stylists I go to now are like, why would that stylist do that? Why would they do that to you? That's super unhealthy, especially for a young child. And
Yeah. That's
that's a horror story I have, being 15 and in high
mhm.
school, and eventually I had to buzz cut my hair, and I've been natural for like 8 years now. But I eventually had to literally buzz cut all my hair off because it was falling in the shower in clumps. And
Oh,
so was my sister. And these stylists have also really damaged my sister's hair, but she keeps going to them. One braider broke out her hair real bad, and it caused a lot of shedding. Mine wasn't necessarily a cut,
mhm,
but I have had a lot of hair damage. I mean, falling out in clumps to me is just still something you don't want. You're still losing a lot of hair. And being in
mhm.
high school, I was terrified. And my mom got tractional alopecia um, from trusting these style, which I don't know, alopecia from stress on your hair, from tight crochet braids and things like that. She had
Yeah.
tractional alopecia because of that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. There's definitely a
hmm,
few types of alpecias. Okay, so I just want to make something clear. So when you picked this salon, you trusted that these people were licensed professionals who understood hair. You're just saying you were so young that you didn't even know to ask. Oh, she might have lost service, guys. Hmm. Okay, we might have lost her. I believe it's Kaya. Oh, Kaya, we can't hear you. I'm sorry. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to remove Kaya from the live, and because the service is not working. But Kaya, if you can hear me, once you're parked, you can give us a call. Oh, Can you?
Thank you.
Yes, we can. We can hear you now.
Okay.
Have I'm sorry about that. Looks like you have bad service because you're driving. So would
Mm-hmm.
you say that you've been to the salon since? Have you found a salon that you can trust?
Not,
No. Okay.
not
So the trauma has kind of solidified it for you. You're not going. Okay. I understand. I completely understand.
I'm terrified
Wow.
to even
Okay. And
smell
so
chemicals.
how hmm, can you guys hear Kaya or can you hear Kaya? Kaya. I'm sorry. Now I'm okay. Kaya, we can't hear you. Okay. Um, not really. Is it possible you can just join when you park? When you get to
Yeah,
a space?
yeah.
No.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
It's
I'm about to
it's
park. I'm about to park.
okay. Okay, great. Um,
I
this
can
is a
park in
very interesting story.
here.
Obviously, I want to give her the
Mhm.
space to share when, she's
Mhm.
parked. But
Mhm.
so
Can you hear me?
yes, now it looks like it's
Okay.
perfect. So when you
Awesome.
were 12 to 15, you obviously
Mhm.
trusted these stylists. You trusted that they were going to take good care of your hair. Your hair was
Mhm.
damaged to the point where now, all these years later, you still haven't been to a salon. Is that correct?
Mhm.
How long has it
Yes. I've been natural since I went natural. Bust cut my hair. I'm 23. I went natural. Well, about to be 24. So I went natural my sophomore year. So that's sophomore, junior, senior, through. Yeah, 8 years. 8 years.
Wow, 8 years.
Mhm.
Okay.
8 years.
Well,
And I'm
so
not looking to go to another one anytime
you're
soon.
not prepared. You're not prepared emotionally
Mm-mm.
to go back.
Mm-mm. I refuse. I'd rather damage it at home for free. That's just how I feel. I'd rather
Wow.
damage it at home for free. Let's say I have a bunch of split ends. I don't even care anymore because I mean I can always cut my hair, cut split ends, but coming from the root to where it's affected my hair coming from the root, I can't get that back.
Mm.
And I'm not gonna have it again. It's just too traumatic. Like one time, my friend was perming her hair, and I had to told her I had to step out the room because the smell of it just really triggered me. It's like when I was a kid, I didn't like it, and the stylist would do it to where it burned my scalp, and I would be like I don't like this, it burns my scalp. But she's like, your hair is just so thick, it might just do that. Sometimes your hair is thick, it really has to penetrate your hair. And I'm just like, something about this isn't right. But I continued to go to her for how long? When I bust cut my hair. So since I was about 8 years old to when I was about 16.
Wow.
So
That's interesting. I'm also hearing a theme around the vocabulary around your hair is so thick. I still get this to like today around people saying your hair is so thick, how can you possibly manage it? I've even had someone say, oh, just looking at your hair is making me anxious. I've had multiple people say that to me actually, like you have so much hair that I'm uncomfortable. I'm getting anxious because I just couldn't do it. And I always find that to be so interesting. And for me,
mhm,
I wonder if there is a correlation around, are people also projecting their thoughts and their views on the hair? One of the things that I spoke about, and this is in my ebook, and I speak about it a lot, is the language we use to describe our hair. If you believe it's hard to manage, it's going to be hard to manage. If you
mhm,
keep on speaking that it's, oh my gosh, my hair is so hard to manage, it's so difficult to do, you're going to struggle to do it, right? Or we could
yes,
practice, we continue to practice and get it down to a point where we know how to do it and it's not hard to manage anymore. I don't struggle during wash day, whether my hair is, when I was washing my hair and detailing my hair, it was down to my thigh. When have I ever gone on the internet and complained about detangling my hair or washing my hair for that?
Yes.
I got my wash day down to an hour and a half. You know why? Because I practiced. It's not about, it's really not about, I think when people look at it and it's a lot of work, it gives lazy. It gives, oh, this is too much to manage. Oh, look at all these things that are wrong with it. We're just going to chop it off. Right? And I don't think that that is the right logic to have. So I do appreciate you sharing your story. Is there any tip you want to give anyone to how you got through the emotional distress of watching your hair come out in clumps and how you were able to get over that?
I would definitely say the number one thing that really helped is, well, I feel like they're starting now if they're watching this live by learning from our our mistakes. Like I say my mistake, my lack of discernment, because when that stuff was burning my scalp, well, I went and got braids. And I was like, Mom, I can't take this. It hurts my scalp. It's terrible. My hair is falling out. I'm done. It took that for me to realize I had to keep going through the mistakes of what I was doing to finally
Mhm.
realize I can't do this anymore. I want people to watch stories like this and learn. Don't do it, learn. Learn your hair. Learn from us. Learn when somebody isn't doing something right. Pick up a cosmetology book and listen to people when they have long healthy hair and they're getting something like perms and all that stuff. Look at their regimen. Don't just take somebody else's word for it, because I took a professional's word. My hair fell out in clumps. Look at
Mhm.
somebody who has grown the long beautiful hair, who has taken, who has taken discernment and gone to the right people, and watch them, see what they did, and also watch the people like myself that made the mistakes, went to the wrong people, and ended up with their hair falling out. Like, you have to learn by watching. Stop learning by doing and learning by watching to avoid the heartache. And if you've gone through it, all you can do is start over. Don't be afraid to start over, because I went straight up.
Yeah.
I was just done. So
I
don't be
I
afraid to
res-
start over.
I respect it. I do. I appreciate you sharing your story. It's a sad one, but I'm happy to hear that your little hair
Yes.
looks like it's growing out, and that's
Yes.
amazing.
Oh,
But
yeah, I got it up in the claw now,
yes,
but
but
it's
that's how
growing,
you
girl.
gotta. Yes, it's
Down
growing. You gotta keep on
there.
going, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you for even coming on and sharing.
Yes. I appreciate seeing your story. I first saw it on African Hair God. I'm gonna be honest, girl. I wanted to cry because I was like, "That's me!" Like, my beautiful long hair falling out, or not me. Like, that's me. I can't trust the stylist. Like, we tried to do something with my beautiful long thick hair, and it just fell out my head, and I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how to feel, and I'm traumatized. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you because you let people know that they're not crazy. Like, some people, you just don't see it until it's there. It just happens. And
Yeah, and give yourself some grace. There are a lot of
mhm,
Christians and people who've been throwing out, the word discernment left and right, guys.
yeah,
You saying, oh, you're 15, 16, what are we talking
right,
about? Even when it comes
right,
to, these moments, everything happens for a reason, right? And, people, when they point out maybe a lack of discernment or something like that, it's not helpful to anyone in the
mhm,
space.
yeah,
And outside of that, we some people who have big hearts, right? They might be trusting, right? And there's a risk that we take whenever we let someone touch our hair, and what they choose to do with that power is not a reflection of us. Okay, so just remember to
mhm.
give yourself some grace. Thank you for coming on, and I pray
Thank
that you
you.
have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I think I just saw my mom join. Mom, you want to come talk to me? She's so cute. Is there anyone else that has a story that they want to tell? We are at about an hour for this live. I'm open and willing to stay on and listen to a few more stories. If you guys want to share, um you can go ahead and just click the little button and I will have you up. Uh yeah. I'll have you up. If you have any questions, put the questions in the question chat, and maybe we could do like one or two more before we jump off. And let me know if you guys are enjoying the conversation or not. How are you guys feeling about it? I'm seeing hearts, 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 hearts. Oh gosh. I know that like coping with this is not easy. I know it's very hard. It's very hard for me. It's very hard for everyone else. And I think that this is the culture of it. I don't think that these are isolated incidences. I think that this is many people's story, and I actually do hope that if someone can like do a research study on the with people in the community, is that okay, how many people actually feel comfortable to salon, how many people have a negative salon experience, and how many people are not going to salon because of that negative hair salon experience. I think that the numbers would really shock you. Someone said, I have no story to tell, but I just love the convo today. Just a fan of your hair. Thank you so much for listening, for coming in and just hearing, guys. I know that this is not like a typical conversation that a lot of people have. It's a little awkward. And I think that what we're doing is creating a space of opening up the conversation and not dismissing people when they in their feelings. So let me know if anyone else wants to join. What I want to also go into is some coping tips and like next steps as to what we're going to do, because so many people have shared that they're right alongside me regrowing their hair. I am going to start making some content around the process of that, and we can do it together. So we're going to be regrowing our hair together. It's not going to be, oh, with me, it's like we're doing this together, we're on the same page. And so one thing that we're going to, I have a list here that I'm going to just talk about. So we're going to be keeping our scalps clean and shampooing consistently. I know that this may vary depending on the person. Because I have dermatitis, I will be shampooing weekly. Okay. That doesn't mean that you need to shampoo weekly. I encourage it, but I don't know. Okay, Daniela said, I haven't had a salon specifically cut shorter than I ask, but rather just always convince me. Oh, sorry, this chat is moving. Convince me that short hair was the best option for me and to keep my hair somewhat manageable. Why is it that people think that long hair is not manageable? Do you want to come up and share? You can. It doesn't have to be, you could just share your thoughts and opinions. No pressure though. I'm going to send the invite. No pressure, no pressure. Oh my gosh. Someone else said they're really enjoying it. Okay.
I'm at a rest stop, so I don't know how long I can talk.
That's okay.
But so yes, you've seen me in person. You see now I have very long curly
Yeah.
hair. But growing up, there was someone else who spoke on your live. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, but she was talking about not even realizing that she had such curly hair. And I felt like I was really able to relate to that because growing up, just how my mom cared for my hair is, it was kept short, and as soon as I got out of the shower, you blow dried it straight or you straightened it, and that's just kind of what it was. I always only saw my hair straight.
Mm-hmm.
And as I got into middle school and was maybe kind of starting to take care of my hair a bit more on my own, it was similar. I would straighten as soon as I got out, or I would, as soon as I got out of the shower, keep it in a very tight bun. And I started going to the salons, and it was, they didn't know how to detangle my hair. So they would try to be brushing it straight from the top, and they would just be complaining, like, your hair is so knotty. I don't know how to do this. They would call someone else over. Oh, you have to put more conditioner, and they're just like ripping the hair out of my head. And it was, you should really keep your hair short. That way you're able to take care of it. Like, you should do more than a trim. Like, just short was the way to go. And I was kind of like, okay, I guess I need short hair to be able to manage my hair. And that same conversation of your hair is so thick, like it's going to be too much if it's long. And after they cut it, their way of styling it was blow drying it straight. And that was just my whole thing was I need to have short hair in order to be able to manage this pattern. And so I never really knew what my hair looked like. And then one day I had gotten out of the shower. I was like, I don't feel like blow drying it. Let me just let it like air dry. And at this point, it was like literally up to here. And it was just dried as this big curly poof. And I was like, literally, like, I didn't even know what to do. And I was trying to figure it out. And I remember one day, I think I was 15, I decided I was going to let it like just be natural at school one day. And I was so nervous, made a whole Facebook post about it. I was like, oh, I think I'm going to try to wear my hair natural today. I'm really nervous. And I go in and a lot of people were not feeling it, making fun of it. It looks crazy.
I understand.
And then I remember I came home and I made another status. Oh, some people liked it, some didn't, but it's okay. And I'm going to figure it out. And it was just this, I never went back to the salon because I was just kind of sick of them telling me it needed to be short in order to be manageable and that it needed to be straight in order to be manageable. And so I stopped going. My hair grew very quickly, I would say. I think in the 2 years, it went probably from shoulder length to like down to my waist. And I ended up winning like best hair senior year. And it was like a very long journey of like learning that like having this curly hair is okay. But even after that, I just didn't cut my hair. And I was still figuring out how to take care of it curly. I was washing it every single day because I didn't know how to sleep with my curly hair and it not get a bit more tangled. And I didn't know the proper products to use. And the story I was telling you when it got shorter than I wanted is I had my sister cut it because I was too scared to go to a salon. And then she cut it. It ended up back near my shoulders. And I was like, this is what I was trying to avoid. And it was just this consistent pattern of like, I don't know who to go to that knows how to take care of curly hair without convincing me it needs to be short. And it was just an ongoing journey.
Wow. Okay. It's so, I know you're at a rest stop. You probably can't speak, but you have some of the most beautiful curly hair I've ever seen in my life. And so the fact that anyone would be like, you need to, like, your hair has always been, I've known you for a few years now. I've never seen your curly hair looking at like, it's always pristine, very healthy, very like, I can't imagine you going into a salon and them just chopping it. Like,
It was
I
just
could see that happening to you. I wouldn't do it. I would be very
like,
careful.
oh, I can't do it. It's too naughty. You try it. And I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh, I have such complicated hair and it's so hard for them. And it was just, there's so much shame in it. And like, my hair has become so much of who I am. And like,
It's a part of you. It's a big part of you. Yes, it's a part of your style. It's a part of your personality. It's not it doesn't mean you're defined by it, but it is a part of you and you're attached to it and it's a beautiful thing. It's a labor of love. You take pride in how you take care of it. So I understand. I do. Thank you, my love. Thank you for
Thank you for
sharing.
creating this.
Yes. Drive safe, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Bye. We have somebody else who wants to join. I don't know them, so let's, see how this goes. I'm not sure who this is. I'm a little nervous. Oh, maybe they're not gonna join. Okay, great. Back to before I want to just touch on something Daniela said. Again, I did notice this whole thing around short hair being oh, we have somebody. Oh, hello? Hello? Oh, hi. I think he has a story, guys. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think he has a story. I apologize. Um, okay, you could just put your story in the chat. There's a lot of background noise there for you. Sorry, guys. Okay, so back to what the point I want to make about Daniela's situation. I am noticing a trend on this whole thing, like keeping it short when people want it long. Listen, guys, we always have to have one funny moment on a live, right? Or else, what, where's the fun in that? So keeping it short, I noticed that even when there's just some vocabulary around when I was at the salon recently around which part of my hair was the healthiest, and like this part up here was the most healthiest, and then this part was, you know, shattered and whatever else. We got to talk about the vocabulary that we're using to describe hair, and we all have a different understanding of what these words mean, and I find that to be very odd. Why is it that some people know what a trim is and some don't? Some people are talking about dusting. I never heard the word dusting a day in my life until after this experience. I was never offered a dusting. I don't know what that is. So even like just the vocabulary around hair, I think we need to just like figure out like what are we all talking about here. So is there anyone else that has a story? If not, we are going to just go into a couple of like next steps and we can end this because it is a little long. If you guys are interested in doing this again, just let me know. And I don't mind hosting a space where people can share their stories without being judged and on a more consistent basis, maybe monthly or something like that. I have no problem with that. And so back to the just like solutions and like things that I want to continue to do as we regrow our hair together for those of us who've been chopped. Okay. So the first thing I said was shampooing weekly for me. Guys, keeping your scalp clean is a hygienic thing. It's not optional. It's about hygiene. Your scalp is an extension of your face. If you do not clean your scalp, it's like not washing your feet. You know what I mean? Like you gotta you gotta wash it. Okay. So please keep your scalp clean. I understand we don't need to do it every day, but for me, I'm going to do it weekly because I get a buildup because I have dermatitis. Okay. Now, the next thing I would say, staying active and working out. We are going to promote circulation of our whole body and our scalp, maybe scalp massages. This idea that you're going to go buy a miracle hair growth product from someone and this is you're going to be just your routine. Your routine is only a product, like a whatever, a shampoo, conditioner, leave-in, but that is not going to cut it. Guys, we're not doing that. We're not going to just pick a brand that we love and that's going to be our re-hair growth journey. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to have a full experience. It's going to be around wellness, okay? So we're going to keep the scalp clean. We're going to stay active. That doesn't mean you have to go for a run. I just want you to move a little bit. Maybe that means that you're doing arm workouts. Maybe you're doing squats. Maybe you do the chair exercise. Maybe you do the bike. Maybe you take a group fitness class. I don't know what your exercise routine looks like or what your mobility concerns are, but I need you guys to try to move your body and get some circulation going. Okay. We're not going to be couch potatoes. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to eat a balanced diet. This idea, this notion that what you eat does not matter when it comes to your hair and how it grows is silly to me. Sophia says walking is great. Love that. Yes, drop what you're gonna do. If you have any ideas, guys, drop what you're gonna do as I'm going to the list. Okay. So we're gonna eat a balanced diet. That's gonna look differently for everyone based on what you need. Some of you guys might be allergic to gluten or whatever. If you know that you're supposed to eat a certain way, like your doctor told you you need to eat a certain way, let's try to maintain that. Okay. We're not going to be eating hot Cheetos and sit on the couch all summer and then wonder why our hair is not growing and then send somebody a message saying my hair just won't grow and your diet is hot Cheetos and chicken nuggets. Okay. I love you, but we're going to get a balanced diet. Okay. Next thing is we are going to promote wellness in relation to stress management. Now, this one's a little bit tricky because it's like, how are we not going to stress? We're going to have to just promote finding ways to build out time for ourselves to bring our stress down. Maybe that's a cup of coffee in the morning. Coffee, I don't drink coffee. A cup of tea. Maybe that's prioritizing getting a massage every once in a while if you can afford that. Maybe it's going to a spa. Maybe it's a gym membership. Maybe your gym membership and going to that sauna is what you need. Maybe it's cutting a certain person off who's stressing you out and causing you to lose your hair. Maybe that you got that little bald spot coming in up here on the crown because someone's stressing you out. Maybe you stop talking to them. I don't know. I'm not trying to cause any beef, but stress management is going to be on this list. And then the next thing is going to be avoiding negative self-talk. This is big for me, guys. I'm not quite ready to tell you the testimony that I got around the whole negative self-talk thing, but for me, it's something I've been working on very diligently. I did not know that I was engaging in negative self-talk until someone repeated my words back to me. Okay, and so all this, my hair doesn't grow, stop saying that. My hair won't grow past, stop saying that. Oh, my hair is hard to, stop saying that. Oh, my hair this, my hair's that, stop saying that. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of negative self-talk when it comes to ourselves and our hair and our hair growth journey. And I understand that we are all different ages, we all have different conditions, and the reality of our journey for regrowing our hair is all going to look very different. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is going to be tailored towards you and what you need. Next thing is using good hair products. Okay, so obviously this one is subjective. Okay, we're just gonna leave that one there. Low tension hairstyles. Um, I'm gonna continue to wear my hair the way I wear my hair, how I normally do it, braid outs, twist outs, and every once in a while you're gonna see a wash and go. Limiting the uses of gels. I haven't had box braids since I was in elementary school. Because my hair was so long, no one wanted to give me cornrows. So because my hair was so long, they're like, yeah, no, we're not doing it. And so I do think braids are fine, but they need to be low tension. I'm not saying that means you can't get them with the knots. Get them with the knots. But if you see that like your hair is like fighting for its life, your forehead's fighting for its life, it's too tight. If it hurts to move it, it's too tight. If it hurts for 2 to 3 business days, it's too tight. Okay? I'm like not gonna be beating around the bush anymore about these things, guys. Like there's gonna be enough people telling you all these things. It's too tight. Okay. The next thing I would say around low tension styles, um, that also comes down to like who you're letting touch your hair, who you're letting style your hair. If someone constantly for the third time, they do it too tight and you keep telling them not to do it that tight and they keep doing it, maybe you should consider like not going back to that person. I don't know. And then we're gonna learn how to do our at-home trims. I know, my gosh, I'm saying it. It's not a crime. We're all doing it already, so maybe we should just learn how to do it better because it seems to be what most of us are doing. And so those are like the main bullet points. What do you guys think of the main bullet points? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll go from there. Okay. I am going to give you guys some updates soon. At home trims are key. Yeah. We're going to have to see. I don't know if I can convince someone. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I can convince someone who has some skill to come teach us and do a class. They might be like, no, they might not feel like that's ethical. I don't know. But if we're already doing it and someone needs to help us do it better, why not? We'll see. YouTube University teaches us everything else. If we can learn how to do electrical work and other stuff, right, that's maybe not the safest, we just need better technique so that we can feel comfortable and confident with that. And that's it, guys. What else do I have here? That's really all I have. If you guys want to continue to share your stories, let me know. And I appreciate you guys coming on. I'm going to go eat some food and probably take a nap. And yeah, so we do have a question. I'm late here, but have you heard from Diane? Yes, I have heard from Diane, guys. Just is dropping gems. I'm gonna start keeping it so real with y'all because someone has to. And we got this. We're in this together. Okay. Stay blessed, not stressed. Love Jess. Okay. Bye. XOXO.